Attention, what you are seeing on your screens is nothing more and nothing less than one of the most historically accurate strategies that exist in the world of trading. Above all, it is used to detect and take advantage of those trend movements that occur in low time frames, being perfect for day trading and scalping. In addition, as with all strategies that we test in this channel, it works for all types of assets, whether stocks, forex, or cryptocurrencies, and can achieve a sustained win rate of up to 90%, and as always we will explain it step by step in the simplest way. Welcome to the Trader's Game. And before we start, remember that in the description you have the links to join us in our Telegram community, where every day we post charts and analysis of what is happening in the financial markets. And also the trading bonus page, which has been updated and have added new promotions and free bonuses for all those who are starting in the world of trading. Do not forget to leave your email if you want to receive a weekly newsletter with everything that has happened during those days. First, we go to the part of indicators and look for the most famous super trend in the world. As you can see, there are more than 37,000 people who use this indicator. But we are going to combine it, and we are going to make a few changes to squeeze the most of its potential and discover the secrets that very few know. The first thing I'm going to do is to go to the configuration part, and I'm going to remove some lines that, simply for aesthetics, will help us to make the graph cleaner. I personally also give a little more striking color to these waves, to be clear at all times everything that is happening in the market. We also go to the data entries and change the ATR from 3 to 4, click on accept, and this would be in principle our super trend, to which we also have to combine another indicator called TRMA. Click, and we would see something like this. In this case, simply put that average to your liking. For example, we can put it in yellow, which looks pretty good, or in white to make that contrast with the background. As you can see, we are live, and now we are going to look for that perfect setup to enter our trades. The first rule that we have to keep in mind is that we are only going to enter, both long and short, in areas that are in contact or bouncing directly with that average of the TRMA. That is to say, in this image we see this area where the price is directly contacting that average, and it is also from here. We have to be very strict with this, because in the long term it will prevent us from entering many false entries. And as you can see, if we go directly to that first contact of the price with that average, we already see this sell signal right in this candle. At that moment we would have to place our operation in short, placing the stop loss a little above the previous highs, and looking for a take profit at least of ratio 1 with 5-1, and here we would have our operation in positive. In the next contact of the price with the plot would happen exactly the same. Again we have that sell signal, specifically in this candlestick, so we would re-enter again, in this case in short, with the stop loss always above those previous highs, and the operation with ratio at least 1.5/1. In this case, as you see, we would take those profits just a few minutes later. Even seeing that the trend is quite strong downward, we could even leave our operation until we see, for example, that a higher low has formed than the previous one, also forming a possible reversal structure of that trend that we were taking advantage of. In addition, we even get a signal here again, in this case a sell into buy signal, which obviously we are not going to take advantage of because it is very far from that pattern, but it does give us an orientation that perhaps, if we have run this operation, it is a good time to close it and take profits. And at this point I want you to notice what is always the common denominator, that thing, that action, which is repeated in both operations that have gone positive. Indeed, they are those sell signals where we place our operations, which always occur after a candle that bounces or crosses the plot. So that should be another of our rules, that we always enter the signals that are marked after a bounce in that plot. If we go a little further back, we see how practically every time the price bounces in that average, it changes the direction of the trend, and again it could have been a good entry. Although as you can see in this particular case we did not enter because we do not have the confirmation of the super trend sell. If we continue backwards, we see again exactly what I was telling you. We have the price coming in a downtrend, we also have that bounce towards the average, a small range is formed, and again we have that sell signal right on the candle that is bouncing down from that pattern. All the rules are fulfilled, so we place our trade. Specifically in this one we can place the stop loss again above the previous highs. But if we use the knowledge we have of basic trading, we can also see that in fact the range had formed in this area. So we do not need to place it so high, but we can put it right at the maximum of the previous structure, and our take profit we would put it in that ratio 1.5/1, and we would have our profit again. We continue a little more, and again we see how the movement accelerates that uptrend, and a rebound is occurring again towards the area of the plot, where a new range is forming. What happens? That in this case, coming from an uptrend, we are looking for that pullback zone for the continuation of a new wave. And the opportunity appears right here. We have this candle that makes that small bounce above the plot, and the next candle even gets to position itself above that range. It marks us that buy signal, and we place our operation stop loss below those previous lows, and we look for that 1.5 ratio. And as you can see, we would have again another operation in profits. As you practice this strategy, you will see that your brain will directly help you to detect the operations in a completely automatic way. But for all those who find it a little more difficult, you can add a third indicator, one of the simplest and best known, the famous MACD. Because at the moment that you have this type of signals, that you see that all the entry rules coincide, you can also notice that in your MACD, a bearish crossover is occurring or has just occurred in this case. Since we are looking for a sell, then we have another extra confirmation. If you look closely, this happens many times. Here, for example, we come from already having that bearish break just a few minutes before, and the price already begins to fall. In this case here, exactly the same, but on the contrary, we have our entry candle, and what happened? That the MACD is below the zero zone, and in addition there has also been a little before that crossing, in this case bullish, which will give us a little more chance that the trend and strength are accompanying us. I tell you that this does not have to happen 100% of the time, but it does happen a large percentage of the time. In this case we have that sale, and the crossover has not occurred again, but it had already occurred in the highest area of the movement, so the indicator being so far away from that zero zone, it is also an extra information that the price should correct again, and so it has been. It marks the signal and the downtrend continues. As you can see, these combined indicators can give you a lot of information, which will not only help you to nail these operations, but also to apply them in your own operations. I hope you all try it and let me know in comments what you think, or if you have any questions, we will be as always happy to answer them. Do not forget to leave us a nice like if you like our work, which is completely free and helps us a lot, and pass in the description both by our free Telegram community, as well as by the trading bonus page, where you can take the best promotions and free bonuses for all those who are looking for the best trading platforms for stocks, forex, or cryptocurrencies. Thank you all very much, and see you in the next video of the Trader's Game.